How many colours are there? This sounds like a very simple question, but the answer is far from simple. It's commonly agreed that there are 7 colours in a rainbow. They're red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. If you ask the Crayola company, the people who make crayons, they've got 120 different coloured crayons in their range. The HTML language, which describes web pages, has got 121 uniquely named colours that we can use. Many Unix-based operating systems, for instance the very popular Linux operating system, have a windowing system called X11, and X11 distributions come with a file called rgb.txt, which lists a whole bunch of different colours. And the last time I looked at this file, it contained 881 different colours. If you look at a collection of all of the words in the English language, what they call an English corpus, there is around 4,000 different words that we use to describe colours. Another simple question that's got a complex answer is, where does one colour end and another colour start? So over here we can see a figure which contains a range of colours from reds, yellows, greens, blues, and so on. And in a recent exercise, they surveyed a large number of web users, 1.5 million web users, and asked them to draw boundaries between the different colours and to name them. And this is a consensus across 1.5 million web users. And it shows what people tend to agree as being green and what they think is blue and what they think is teal and so on. This is difficult because we're trying to delineate regions in colour, and colour is a continuum, and we're trying to enforce sort of arbitrary boundaries across this otherwise continuous notion of colour. The way we interpret colour also depends on our cultural background. In Asia, orange is a very, very positive colour, but in the United States, Australia, and parts of Europe, orange is considered to be a colour of danger, of hazard. Some African languages, for example, do not have any words which distinguish the colour red from the colour orange. However, almost all of the languages have got words to describe black and white. And if the language has got more colours than just those two, the next most likely colour that they're going to describe is red, and then next most likely is either yellow or green. Blue is frequently like the 6th named colour in many languages. So blue clearly is not as important as red and green. Black and white, brown comes later, and then all the other colours that we've got names for. This rather complex graph shows a relationship between the culture, which is indicated by the letters here, and the emotion, which is indicated by the radial colour bars numbered from 1 through to 84. And what we can see is the very different colours that are used to represent different emotions or feelings across cultures. If we look at the occurrence of colour terms in a big collection of English words, for instance, the Bank of English corpus contains a lot of literature from the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, for example, then we can look at a histogram of the occurrence of those colour words, and we see that black is by far the most frequently occurring word, followed by white, followed by red, green, blue, and so on. Whereas the least occurring words are those like ultramarine and chartreuse. The most common colour words are also the oldest. So 1200 years ago, there weren't that many different colour words, but as time's passed, we've introduced more and more colour words into our vocabulary. And there's a big transition point around the year 800 when we changed from a focus just on brightness, talking about white, black, grey and so on, where we started to get more interested in talking about the hue, the actual colour, rather than just the brightness. And perhaps this was a technological transition as well, perhaps when dyes and pigments became much more common. The Pantone company's whole livelihood is based on colour. They catalogue colours, they describe all of the colours using unique numeric codes, and they promote every year a colour of the year. And so the colour of the year in 2013 is this green. The bottom line is colour is really, really important to humans.